When did you feel like you stopped hearing Ladino in the streets of Seattle, and what brought about that change?
Probably right after the Second World War. I'm just guessing, because there was a number of the people that were my age were becoming adults, and they were they didn't speak Ladino to one another. We never did speak Ladino. Our age group, we spoke English. We were born in America, and we spoke English. We went to English school, so um, I think that's when it started going downhill. And then, of course, as the older folks, um, that generation started to pass away, and then also after the Second World War, the community kind of spread a little better. Uh, they didn't all live in the central area. They didn't live, even a lot of people started going to the suburbs, and I think that was also part of the dispersion of the language.
Yeah, and then I know that, for example, my grandmother, who's still around, she speaks Yiddish, but at the time that my father and my mother were growing up, they considered being bilingual as, a potential detriment to students or to children. So they never taught the language to their kids. And so my generation didn't get it in the same way. What do you wish that you had known more about Sephardic history or Ladino at the time? What would you want Ladino education to look like going forward?
Well, that's I have to tell you that, in my opinion, unless a language is spoken on the street on an everyday basis,
Hmm.
it it's going to fade away, and eventually will only become one that is studied in academic circles. It have a great sense of guilt, because after more than 500 years of Ladino existence, my generation is the last one to even understand it, let alone speak it. Yes, yes, it's being taught in universities, but unless it's spoken on the streets and in homes, uh, I just don't know how it will continue other than as an academic subject.
I would like to say though to that, I think World War II had a lot more to do with her harming the language. There's no need to feel guilty. There's definitely you know there was much worse things that happened than leaving you behind in America, of course. um, Sometimes I had this feeling, at the university we have lots of the books in Ladino that the Sephardic Studies Center has, and I see these novels and I see these letters, and people who were writing, when you write a novel, you write assuming that people are going to read it in 100 years or 200 years. So they were imagining a future for their language, and so sometimes I think about, I'm glad at least to learn it myself, to learn Ladino, to give these authors and these writers and these people something of a future for their artistic work. And I hope that remains. um,
So
do
do
you
I,
have
by the
any?
way.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
a very rich language. My wife and I, fortunately, she also spoke Ladino at home. So we use some phrases from time to time that, when you interpret them literally, they make no sense, but
Uh-huh.
the usage of it is really rich. And I think that it's not going to be around forever. It's just very sad.
Can you think of any of those phrases now? What's the first one that comes to mind?
Donde se arrapa el huerco, where the devil shaves, which really means someplace far away. It's miles away. And and another one that I really like is comí una bamia buena, which means I ate a good okra. But what it truly means is that I did something I'm going to be sorry I did.
Comí una bamia buena. That's really
Yeah,
great.
comí una bamia buena. So you did something that you're going to be sorry you did.
So you have sort of a guilty pleasure or something like that. You ate the good bamia, and now you're there's going to be consequences. Oh, that's great.